Hey everybody, this is Paul here, and I am messing with Illustrator today, and I saw a cool video on how to do some inking with Illustrator, and I'm using CS2, but he does CS5, but a lot of it applies the same. But I thought I'd make a little add-on to what he covered, what Butler covered, and the inking process. And it's just for making the lines neat, and I'll show you real quick. So first thing we're going to do, instead of just freehanding and eyeballing the ellipse tool, we're going to set it up so it actually matches the point scale here, line weight over here. So what we do is we just take the ellipse tool, we click to make a circle in 10 pixels by 10 pixels. And if you change it to point on mine, it'll just go back to pixels anyway. So if I go to point, it's going to jump back to pixels. So apparently the units for points and pixels are the same. I guess it might be one of my prefs or something. You just want the points to be 10 or the pixels. It's the same in here. The points and pixels are the same. So make a circle. Oh, gotta swap fills, and we don't want a stroke. We just want a solid fill. So now we have a 10 point by 10 point circle here. What I'm going to do is just alt drag to duplicate it, and I'm going to select all these just to make them neat, and I use the align. So distribute my objects and align replace like so. So now we have 4 10-point circles, and what I like to do is with the pen tool on the bottom 2 circles, go like that. So, and now we select all of them. Actually, object and scale. And what we want to do is non-uniform. Vertical stays 100%. Horizontal goes 1000. I did this earlier, so it already seems to be in there. And what that does is it makes them 10 times wider. That's all it does. And this one, select that, just that one point. Delete it. And the same on that one. Delete it. And when we delete those, we hit Ctrl J. If you try to delete with the pen tool, it'll round it off. You don't want that, so we just delete the point this way. Selecting it, deleting it. So now we have these. It's pretty much following what was in the other tutorial so far, but you notice I did it to a specific size. The reason for that is because we did this as 10 points. Now when we go to create our new brushes, the art brush just like you did here, but now we make the width 10%. And the same for this one. Because those are 10 points across, we have 10% of that. It's actually going to be a brush that's 1 point across when you set it to 1 point. So it will scale exactly to your stroke width, which is kind of neat. I'll show you in a moment. The reason I started out with 10 points is because it's a lot easier trying to work with the object that's only 1 point across. But then we scale it back down to 10%, and it matches. So now I'll get to show you why that is a neat thing to do. Why you want your art brushes for inking to match. So now we'll just up the weight of this to Let's just make it 8 points. And I'll show you. Alright. So we have plane line. I'll just make that one rounded tips. But the reason why you want your art brush is to match. I'll do a few more of these lines. Yeah, it's just taking time. Alright. So here's the regular square and brush, one with rounded tips. And I'll just make this one like so. Back to 8 points. At its thickest area, it will match these strokes. And this one. And I do the two styles because notice this one has sharper tips. Come more to a point. But sometimes when you're copying inking, it's not as sharp point, so you really want to do both methods, to be honest. And why I have the art brush match the actual stroke. This is the reason why. You go scissors tool, you can clip anywhere on the line, and do another scissors tool like somewhere over here. Now what we do is we select that end, and we take one of these square end strokes. Actually, I'll do this one here. Match the point of the original stroke, and it meshes seamlessly. And we can do the same there. And we notice that the squared strokes start right off where it's boxed off at. So, and notice how this one's backwards because the stroke direction is this way. Well, to fix the stroke direction, you have it selected. You go to the pen tool, you go to the end. And, well, sometimes it's hard to see. You can hit that, and see it turns to X, and it turns to plus. That's caps locks, by the way. So if you have a hard time hitting it with the pen like that, you can do, but you hit caps lock, and it gives you precise. So that way you don't hear that annoying message. You missed the point. And just show you, like if I do the whole thing. So now we got all the styles. But see on this one, you can actually terminate your strokes with the art brush. That's why you want to match the scale up, which is kind of neat thing. And now we can expand all these. These two are just lines, so you gotta go object. Expand will not work on those, I think. Oh, I guess it will. Oh, that's just regular expand, not expanded. That'll work. Yeah, expand experience, it's just expand in that case. Same thing. And all of these, select that one. All these are expand experience. And instead of going through all the process to clean up those extra lines, let's go edit, or object, I should say, object path, clean up, and get rid of all of that crap that way. And on the one that's like this, oh, I still have to expand that. There. But you can expand that. Now we go to Pathfinder. Merge. Yep, merge it, it makes it a single object. Oh, and there's another thing I gotta show you real quick. Put it back to normal pen. Sometimes when you're doing art paths like this for inking, you come to a cusp point. So we get this. That fill. Let's turn up. So you do something with a cusp point. What happens when you expand the experience, or expand the appearance, is you get a lot of mess in here. Well, let me clean up the extra line. Clean up. It still doesn't get all rid of the extra mess. If you try to do it in some of these other modes here, like joining without lines or overlaps, is still going to be messy. So before you do any of that, you want to do is go to the Pathfinder and hit merge. I'll get rid of all the garbage inside. If you notice at the end of the cusp, it's still a little bit messy. So what we do is we go in here. So we got a lot of points we don't need. So what we do is we select that very edge, delete it, and I believe Control J puts the edge back. And we got a manual delete, the pen tool. We hit caps locks to do that. Caps lock. Alright. Let's turn this on. There. Get rid of all these weird extra points. Because for some reason when you have a cusp, it makes a mess. Expand experience. Expand appearance. Oh, it's still dinging on me. There. Sometimes you don't always want that squared off like that. After you expand it, and what you do is you go, normally it'll be the pencil tool, but if you go drag out, you get the smooth tool, and you can just smooth. Well, I've done it better before, but yeah, you smooth it out. Yeah, you can smooth. It's getting bigger. I don't know. You can smooth that out, and I believe it's scale. That's scale. But yeah, using the scale and the smooth, you can pretty much. Takes a little work. It takes a little work. There, close enough. Then I'll get rid of the square. Oh, that's handy. It's not always the fastest part, but sometimes you're doing manual lines like that and you want real tight stuff instead of the free brush. So just painting with the brush like this. Sometimes it's handy to have very tight control of the pen. So you want your art brushes to match your strokes and widths, because then you can just terminate your lines and stuff like that. It's a neat thing. That's it.